Scientific research changes the world, from breakthrough technologies to new medicines. However, not only is science slow, but it's becoming increasingly more expensive. So today we want to show you how Hackscience is bringing research to the world faster. My name's Ignacio.
Hi, I'm Ali Afshar. I'm a researcher at Imperial, and together we're co-founders of Hackscience, a new startup accelerating research. So I want to tell you a story. This is Dr. Michael Delves. He's a malaria researcher at Imperial, but Michael's got a massive problem. That's that every day he has to spend 3 hours manually replenishing the sugary solution of his malaria cultures. Looks something like this. And Michael's not alone. There's 13 million scientists, most of whom are spending a good portion of their day doing a manual process by hand. So there must be a better way. In Michael's case, there is a better way, but it costs £250,000. But something's changed now, and that's the maker movement. Suddenly it's incredibly easy to make cheap software-controllable electronics, and you can print things of any shape using a 3D printer.
So we wanted to see, is affordable automation possible? To test this, we ran the first ever lab automation hackathon. And we proved it was possible. In just 2 days, our teams had brought affordable lab automation to 9 different areas of research. And it got us thinking, how can we scale this even more? We're not going to run a hackathon for 13 million researchers. So, with a little bit of work, we did some consultancy, and our first customer was Michael. And we're literally days away from delivering him a solution that can save him 3 hours a day and doesn't cost £250,000. However, we still didn't think this was very scalable. But we realized that people wanted these things to be open sourced, which means we started work on the Hackscience platform, which aims to reduce the barriers to developing lab automation tools, as well as increasing access to open sourced tools. So today we're prototyping and testing the search and discover phase of Hackscience platform. So as a user, I can search for a specific area of research I'd like to automate, find a relevant project, and start using the instructions to assemble my own tool, and even order parts and cite this tool so other people can replicate my own research. From our findings on our UX tests, we found that people with even very little to no electronics experience could assemble their own tool in less than 10 minutes, and they had a desire to build more. Now, in the short term, we're focusing on share and discover, but the long-term play is really about a platform that has a software layer that enables people to build and utilize apps that help you control and analyze your experiments.
So in terms of growth of our platform, we've got this flywheel where basically if we optimize any of these 5 things, it drives growth for the platform. And our hackathons and consulting feed into this flywheel as well. In terms of monetization, as Ignacio said, it's a software play. So in the long term, Hackscience basically takes a platform fee on the apps that are used to control these new tools. And also we're going to launch a data analytics platform where we also take a platform fee for people to analyze the data coming into this platform.
So if you'd like to see the other 13 million researchers out there bring cures and research to the world faster, then Hackscience invites you to join us on this mission. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, great. Thank you very much, guys. Just a quick question. How do you, I know there's 5 different things you're trying to optimize at the moment, but how do you see this initial community of users and projects?
So the question was
how do you see the initial community building and with projects?
Sure, so essentially we started with the hackathons. That's to drive the number of designers who are putting tools up on the platform. Once we've got more designers up on the platform, the selection increases. That makes the user experience better for someone who's looking for a tool. That brings more traffic to the platform, and once there's more traffic, those people who created the initial tools get more citations. So researchers' output is all based on citations. And essentially, if we can drive citations for those people who put tools up, that incentivizes them to put things up on the platform and help grow the platform. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it makes sense.
I got a question coming from totally outside this sector. Am I sort of reducing it right to basically say that there's a lot of guys out there who just do something for a couple of hours a day because it's the way they did it, and they know there's £250,000 something they can buy, which the massive companies will use, but there's basically nothing in the middle, and they go, do you know what? I'll just do the 2 hours a day because I did it yesterday. So it's all about finding the middle ground where there's something that someone's built and it's just getting out there to everyone. Because the problem isn't big enough for a big manufacturer to make a £10,000 solution than a 250. Is that right?
Exactly. And we think actually one of the key things about why those automated tools are so expensive right now is that you can't manufacture them in big quantities. And that's why we focused on this approach of you receive the parts and then you just go through it like an IKEA manual and put it together.
It's cheaper to employ a postdoc than buy a tool, basically.
Yeah, I mean, so if my understanding is correct, I find it incredibly elegant, and that there's a big old problem there and a lot of efficiency you can solve. And thanks, I think I understood everything really well.
That's it for me.
Can I just ask, are you raising money at the moment?
We're on the verge.
Yeah, so
Okay.
we've been around for about 4 or 5 months, and we're just doing very early prototyping. We're looking at grant funds. We're pitching for grant funds at the moment. Once we get to a stage where we think, we get the money for really growth, I think that's when it makes sense to raise. I think at this point it would be too much of a distraction from our prototyping and user testing.
Okay.
Yeah. But we'd invite any conversation from anyone interested.